Hey guys, Richard Blaine here. Thanks for stopping by my easy cooking channel tonight. Tonight I'm going to make pizza. Tonight I'm going to make pizza because 2 weeks ago I promised Lindsay Wells, the kitchen witch, that I would make a pizza using her dough recipe. And I did do that, and the pizza was delicious. But I messed up the video really bad and I couldn't recover it, so I couldn't upload it for you guys to see. So this week I'm making the pizza again. I'm making a Neapolitan style pizza. I'm going to be using the recipe that Lindsay Wells uses for her dough, and I'm going to have some minor changes. She used pine nuts in her recipe, and I'm going to use walnuts in mine because I'm allergic to pine nuts. So people might ask, what is Neapolitan? And Neapolitan refers to a part of Italy known as the city of Naples. And it used to be called the Kingdom of Naples, or the Kingdom of Two Sicilies a long, long time ago. It also used to be called the Neapolitan Republics of Italy. And it had many, many changes as the country of Italy was coming into its own. In New York City, where I'm originally from, we refer to people that are descendant of the city of Naples. We call them Nablidons. That's right, Nablidons. It's a New York thing. Get used to it, okay? It's just something from the East Coast. The Nablidons, okay? The deal with Neapolitan cuisine goes way back in European history. Okay, the food of the Neapolitans was actually influenced by the Greco-Romans. It goes back a very long way. Neapolitan pizza, on the other hand, in Italy, is basically just dough and red sauce or San Marzano tomatoes with some mozzarella cheese and some basil. We make it a little more interesting in this country, a little more artisan, and that's what I'm going to do today. So, as usual with YouTube, 15 minutes, and I know there's more than 15 minutes. Let's get going, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay guys, so what I have started here is my active yeast, some warm water, cold water now with olive oil, and I'm going to add a little bit of salt, okay, a little bit of crushed Italian sea salt, okay. Now I'm going to liquefy it in there. Okay. A little bit more. There we go. And I'm going to add about half of the flour. AP flour. There we go. This is the base. This is the pizza dough. Okay. I'm going to mix this together until it gets nice and tacky. Okay. And that's not going to take very long at all. There we go. Starting to turn into a dough. And now we're going to add a little bit more of the flour, about half at a time. Okay. And the dough will get thicker and tackier, and we're just going to keep on. Eventually, this dough will be coming out of this bowl. Alright. There should be enough here for 2 pizzas. Just like last week. There we go. There we go. And I'm just going to continue making this dough, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, so this is the dough. Okay, now you lightly flour up a work surface and you start kneading this dough. Okay, now I'm one of the only foodies I know that actually I don't even like to bake. I don't like to play with dough. I don't like cooking with dough. I don't like making cookies and cakes, but I like pizza, and I liked Lindsay's recipe for the Neapolitan dough and the pie. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to knead this dough for about 5 to 10 minutes until it comes out really nice and smooth, and it doesn't take long because this dough recipe is actually a really good one. Okay guys, there it is. I've been kneading this for about 10 minutes, and it's a nice velvety doughy little ball. And here I am right now. I'm going to cover it in a damp rag. Okay. Make sure it locks out anything from the outside. Loosely. Loosely. Okay. Just like that. Just with a little moisture. Nice and damp. And I'm going to let this rest for 15 minutes. And then we're going to move on to the next step, which is going to be portioning it out and then letting it rest for about an hour. See you soon. Okay guys, it's been about 20 minutes, and I'm going to remove the damp cloth, and it's expanded a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of flour here, okay, and I'm going to get both sides covered, okay. I'm going to give it a quick little knead, That's about it right there. Okay, I'm going to turn it into a ball again. Okay, and I'm going to portion it out. Make a nice little log. Figure right about there. 2 separate pieces. And what I'm going to do to each of these for about 5 minutes is I'm going to knead them. For about another 5 minutes, I'm going to knead each one. And then I'm going to cover them for about another hour with the damp cloth. Take this one. Okay, so okay guys, there they are. Okay, these are my 2 pizza balls. Okay, each one of these will make a pizza. Make the sauce however you want. For this recipe, I'm just going to use a nice marinara sauce. This is Pomi marinara sauce. Everyone who knows me knows I love Pomi. Okay, I heated it up. I added a little extra olive oil, some salt, some pepper, a little bit of garlic, and this is what I'm going to use for the sauce for both pizzas. But you can use anything you like. So, all right, so what we're doing here is we're sauteing some baby portobello mushrooms, criminis, okay? And what we need to do to that is we need to add a little salt. That'll help sweat them down. There we go. And a little bit of black pepper. Not too much because we're going to be adding more to the pizza later. Alright. So, you just need to get these sweated. Now, mushrooms are like sponges, so they soak up the oil very quickly. So to help break them down, I add just a little bit of water to the pan. Okay. Alright, the mushrooms have softened nicely and most of the water is gone. So I'm going to make a pit right here in the middle. Okay. Just going to add a little more extra virgin olive oil. And in goes the spinach. Now to this, a little bit of salt. I just love using this crushed Italian sea salt. Alright. There we go. And a little pepper. Got to build those flavor layers. Alright. Now, Lindsay used some fresh minced garlic, and I realized today that I didn't have any fresh minced garlic, but the realization is that any kind of garlic will do. Fried garlic, garlic powder, or I'm going to use garlic granules, okay? The equivalent of about 4 cloves of garlic, okay? The granules are a little bit stronger in flavor, as are the fried garlic bits that I buy, but I happen to like garlic, so I'm not worried about it. Alright. Okay, so my toppings have been set aside, and I'm going to roll out this dough, okay? One of the balls. Alright. There we go. There we go. There we go. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle because we're talking about artisan pizza, Neapolitan pizza. Alright, there we go. I'll get this out about 1/4 inch. There we are. Oops, that one fell. Okay, turn that over. Get a little flour going. Okay. There we go. There we go. Nice. Nice. Okay. A little flour on it. Nice. Beauty. All right. Nice thin artisan crust. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. Turn it over one more time. Get that dough out there a little bit. Beautiful. All right. Yep, that's just about the thickness I want. Right there, nice thin artisan crust. And all right, guys, first things first. Before any sauce goes on, a little extra virgin olive oil, okay? A little extra virgin olive oil spread on top of this dough, okay? This will prevent any moisture from the tomato sauce from getting through and creating a soggy dough. It will also allow this dough to crisp and brown in such a lovely way. Okay, guys, so here we go. A little bit of salt, okay? Just a little bit of that salt. Okay. A little bit of freshly ground black pepper. All the way around. There we go. Looks so good right now I could eat it. All right. If you want, optional, some chili flakes. Everyone here who knows me knows I love my chili flakes, so I'm adding my chili flakes. Okay. Get those in there. Okay. And just a little granulated garlic on the bottom. Okay. Just a little granulated garlic on the bottom. All right. Now, to that, we're going to spoon on some of this lovely marinara, okay? Not too much, just enough, okay? Just enough. All right. And to that, I'm going to add some freshly crushed dry oregano bulbs. This is how we do it in New York City. This is how we roll. All right. Get some of that oregano in there. Instant flavor. All right, to that, I'm going to put some of the mushroom and spinach topping. I'm going to spread this out by hand. It's still warm. All right, guys, so as you see here, I put on some thinly sliced red onion. And on top of that, I'm just going to put a little bit of mozzarella. I'm not going to bury this pizza in mozzarella, okay? Just enough to cover, okay? The object is not to make it like a melted cheese. It's just to give it some flavor. You want to be able to see what you're eating. Try to get it out to the edges without going overboard. That looks pretty good. A little bit more right there. A little bit more right there, right there. All right, so there we have the mozzarella. Now, to this, I'm going to add some toasted walnuts. Okay, I toasted these this morning. Okay, they're delicious. Okay, I love the flavor of toasted walnuts. I know we're going a little bit beyond the scope of artisan Neapolitan pizza, but this will be a delicious pie nonetheless. I wanted to do Lindsay's dough recipe because I happen to like it. I've seen a lot of dough recipes and I happen to have taken a liking to this one. Like I said, I'm not big on baking. I don't like playing with dough as far as being a cook, but there are the walnuts, okay? And to the walnuts, last step, my personal favorite, Gorgonzola cheese. Okay, here we go. I would have used pine nuts like in Lindsay's recipe, but I happen to be allergic to pine nuts. So I thought the gaminess of toasted walnuts would go well with the Gorgonzola. As a matter of fact, I know they do because I make Gorgonzola walnut balls for parties all the time. So there it is. Okay. Gorgonzola on top. And I'm going to put this in a 500-degree oven for about 5 to 7 minutes, maybe 8 minutes. Each oven's a little different. And then we're going to have pizza. Okay guys, so there it is. My artisan pizza using Lindsay Wells' dough recipe. Came out nice and golden brown. And the last and final layer of flavor that I'm going to put to this pizza, for me, because I happen to enjoy the flavor, is anchovies. Okay, this is strictly optional, but I happen to enjoy anchovies on my pizza, and therefore I am putting anchovies on this pizza. Okay? You don't have to. Okay, you don't have to. It's a final step. It's not necessarily Neapolitan. It is Brooklynese. You come from New York, you're some die-hard Italian, and you'll find anchovies on your pie. So there it is. One flat of anchovies added to the pie. I hope you like it. I hope you make this recipe. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfectly round. Neapolitan pizzas are strange geometries. They're not naturally round like store-bought pizzas. Whatever you roll out, it's perfect in imperfection. It's a Japanese thing called wabi-sabi, finding perfection in imperfection. So it doesn't always have to be perfectly round, but it's perfectly delicious. So I'm glad you stopped by, and I'll see you on the next video. Okay guys, so there you have it. My version of a Neapolitan pizza using Lindsay Wells' dough recipe, and a couple of little changes. Like I said, I used walnuts instead of pine nuts because I'm allergic to pine nuts. Just remember, when you make a pizza at home, whether it's a Neapolitan or a Chicago style, New York style, it doesn't matter. The shape doesn't have to be perfectly round. Everybody gets caught up in this, it has to be perfectly round, and it doesn't, okay? Because when you go to Italy and they roll out a dough and they throw a Neapolitan together, believe me, it's not perfect. It's not as brown as ours. As a matter of fact, in Italy, in Naples, when you get a pie, it's a little more doughy than what we get here in America, okay? So it doesn't have to be round, but what has to be good is the ingredients you put into it. It can be simple or it can be a little more complex like this, but what makes it is the flavor and not the shape. Any pizza you make in your home, it's all about the flavor and the consistency, not about the shape. This isn't Domino's, this is gourmet home cooking. I want to thank you for stopping by, okay? I'll see you on the next video, and you take care.